So now let's talk about some of the crazy stuff that we see in YouTube. All right, we see insane jump training. Go to YouTube or go to Google and say increase vertical jump programs, and you will see a slew like this: $49.99, $9.99, $100 videos, books, programs, bam, bam, bam. For what? What are we increasing vertical jump for? For what? Okay, genetically, all right, if you are a college volleyball player, there ain't no college volleyball player right off the bat that's jumping 12 inches. Why? Because you wouldn't make the team. You wouldn't make the team. What happens? When you have any sport at any level, they recruit. They go, okay, hey guys, we need football players, we need basketball players, we need fighters, special armed forces, we need badasses. And those who think that fit the bill, they come. And they put them through numbers. They put them through skills. They put them through training. They test them. They test them. They test their heart. They test their will. They'll run them a little bit, not to see who's got VO2, but who gets the shin splints. And then who bitches about those shin splints. That's what they do. They pull out the genetic cream that rises to the top, the genetics. They pull out the genetics. So if you're 5'6", you're not making the cut. Okay, if your vertical jump is 6 inches and you don't know nothing about position and you don't know how to dribble, you're not making the game. You're not making the team. If you're I don't know, if you're going for special armed forces and you can't get drowned in the pool and you get shin splints and you get all antsy when you don't sleep well, you're not making it. You're not making the first cut at Bud's training. You're just not. So what do? Whether it's a football team, special forces, anything, they recruit. They put you through the paces to see, all right, who's doing well, and then from there they teach you the skills. So all this jump training, that's insane. All this jump searching and jump envy, all right, vertical jump, world record vertical jump. Vertical jump is bullshit. It's that simple. It's that simple. You have a great vertical jump. You're in front of a 7'4" center with a wingspan of 7 feet, and you're 6 feet, 6'4", and you have bad position, they're gonna bat that ball out of the left field mark in a game, in a basketball game. So that's how far that ball's gonna go. All right. But if you're Spud Webb, how come Spud Webb? Okay, there's not too many of them, obviously, but how come Spud Webb was able to score in the NBA at 5'6", 5'8", whatever the hell he was? Because he was in good position. If you're in good position, you can score. Period. Physics will take care of the height. Physics will take care of the vertical jump. Got it? All right. So we also see some crazy stuff on the agility ladder. You know, I mean, we got agility ladder people doing agility ladder in the sand. So you're doing plyometric training in the sand. Sand amortizes. Sand increases amortization time, which is the opposite of plyometric training, which intends to reduce amortization time through joint stiffness. Okay. Sand may get you in condition, but sand won't make you fast from a standpoint of stiffness and getting the neural components of that stiffness. Okay, myotatic reflex and all that stuff. I don't even want to get into that. You need to be on the surface that you're playing. Okay, on the surface that you're playing, so you can have the right amount of stiffness and proprioception at the ankle to cut, to jump, to run. Got it? So these guys that are doing training with an agility ladder underwater, for crying out loud, in sand, in wet sand, in sand in 3 inches of water, and on and on and on. Where's that guy? Where's the famous guy on the agility ladder? He doesn't do anything. And you see him catching balls with a helmet and pads. What are you pretending? Hey, look, man, I can get dressed up as a surgeon all I want. Doesn't mean I can perform surgery. Okay, I can teach Discovery Channel surgery and get there with my mask and even go into an operating room and operate on a dummy. And you guys go, damn, Carlos really knows a lot about surgery. That don't make me a surgeon. So, you know, some of these guys are doing agility ladder stuff and then going out with helmets and pads catching balls. Bro, if you were all that, you'd be on a football team. If you were all that, you'd be playing soccer. Oh, no, you're not all that. What do? Oh, you're the master of agility ladder training. All right, great. Thank you very much. The insane weights, okay? If you want to see insane weights being done terribly by people that have no business doing that, CrossFit fails. There they are. There they are with the Olympic lifts and all that insane weight. They're falling on their asses. They're getting crushed by snatches. Boom. Beautiful. All right. Oh yeah, we're doing that. That's great for that 15-year-old that's coming in with his dad to hopefully make the high school team. Fantastic. Stupid. Don't do it. Oh, speed training. That's another one. And I was guilty of this when Randy Smythe first came out. I was into like you can teach speed. No, man, you're born with a certain neural wiring where you're just fast, And I am tired of preparing athletes to the umpteenth level. I prepared athletes to go to the Olympics, to go to the world championships, to go to world titles. I prepared athletes, and I'm telling you right now, we had the most prepared athlete on the field, on the mat, in the ring, in the cage, all day, and we lost. All day. The people who beat us, if they came into IHP, they would piss their pants just by walking in. Forget about doing the workouts that we did. They couldn't survive the workouts. They couldn't survive the workouts. Yet we lost. Yet we lost. Why? Because it's not about strength and conditioning. It's not about strength and conditioning because I put the best strength and conditioning athlete in the playing arena 50 times and I've come up short. Okay? And I've been beaten. We have been beaten by guys who couldn't shine our shoes in the gym. So what's that about? What's that about? That means that what you're developing in the gym is not the end all be all. As a matter of fact, it's not even close. You have to have a certain genetic disposition and then practice. And then practice. And when I say genetic predisposition, I'm not talking about physicality. I'm talking about mental. You don't think humor is genetic? You don't think IQ is genetic? You don't think resilience, internal resilience, and spiritual strength is genetic? You bet your ass it is. Does it have a bandwidth? Yes, it does. Can you move people in that bandwidth? Yes, you can. So is strength training extremely important? Yes, because you can move somebody from middle of the bandwidth to their optimal. And then that's it. You got nothing else. As a strength and conditioning coach, once you move them to the optimal strength, to you know what it's called? It's called a plateau. So if you hit a plateau, stop breaking plateaus. When you break a plateau, you break the body. Here, quote me on that one. When you break a plateau, you're breaking the body. So leave the plateaus alone. Celebrate them. Don't see them as failure. Okay? Of course, then we have the reaction time. That's beautiful. The way this happens is there's chunking. There's predictions. The great athletes predict. It looks like they're reacting, but they're not. Read Sports Gene and read Range and read and listen to David Epstein. The great athletes do not react. They look like they're reacting. They anticipate. They're already doing something, betting, rolling the dice that you're going to do this. And they're so good because they have practice. And when you practice, you chunk data, all right? And your predictions become extremely reliable. They're so good at predicting that it looks like they're reacting. They're there before you are, okay? So reaction time, forget about the little dots and all that bull. You're not going to improve reaction time. That doesn't. You improve predictive time through chunking that happens through many, many hours of training. And of course, we already talked about an example of overdoing stuff is scales. You learn scales in music to get dexterity. But after you have enough dexterity, then you got to solo. Then you got to play. Then you got to feel the other musicians. You got to feel the audience. And that doesn't come from scales. Okay? That comes from interacting with the audience. That comes from playing with other musicians. And that comes from your genetic creativity. All right? So that's a perfect example how it works in other fields. Learn from music and learn from other fields because you can see it there. All right? We don't have to kill people. Okay? So let's look at the best. Let's look at the best that suck in gyms. Let's look at the best that are not strong. Okay, the greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice. This dude could guess what the defender was going to do. He could guess, well, if the formation turns into this, my quarterback is going to look at that, and I got to be there if I see this formation. All of this stuff. Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest guy, wasn't the strongest guy, wasn't the quickest guy. He had a feel, a genetic feel for the field. And he was the Iron Man of receivers. 20 years in the league, 20 plus years. You're not going to find another one that way. Okay? What did he bench? What did he squat? What did he clean? Nothing. Zip. Okay? Of course, the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. If you look at Muhammad Ali's footwork, you don't need agility ladder. What agility ladder? They didn't have agility ladders. They didn't have hurdles. They didn't have 5-dot drills. They didn't have anything in those days. And you will never, ever, ever, ever see a heavyweight, and I would venture to say a cruiser and even a middleweight move like Muhammad Ali. If you look, okay, at the foot movement of Muhammad Ali, I'm telling you, it is poetry in motion. It is a true comparison of poetry in motion. All right? No agility ladder. Nobody taught him that. He wasn't doing some stupid agility ladders on the sand and crisscross agility ladders and karaoke's on agility. None of that stuff. All of that. Waste of time. Okay? Messi. All right? You want to see more dexterity in feet? You want to see a better coordination of the lower body? It doesn't come. Ronaldo, Messi, monster. I bet you if Messi came in here, we would. I got housewives here at IHP that would whoop Messi's ass in here. But talk to me. Give that man a soccer ball, and he'll bake a lasagna, for crying out loud. All right. So there's another example that strength and agility ladder and all that crazy stuff, that's not needed. Not when you have that kind of talent. How do you develop that kind of talent? Practice, 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 practice. All right. Colby, of course. You know, and with him, of course, comes Michael Jordan and everybody else. You know, the great guys. All right? Look at the movement that Colby had. Look at the grace that he had. Look at the agility that he had. How much did Colby squat? What did he deadlift? And so on and so forth. You wouldn't find that. You wouldn't find that anywhere because he didn't do it. How much agility ladder? How much agility ladder did he do? How much hurdles? How much plyometrics? Nothing. Colby lived with a basketball in his hand and was God-given talent. All right, with God-given talent to do incredible things. Not only that, he was a beautiful human being. All right. And of course, you have Federer. Federer, arguably one of the best tennis players to ever live. Okay? What does Federer do? Okay, David Epstein in his book Range talks about Federer versus Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a different animal. Who has a higher injury profile? Tiger Woods. Okay? Why? Because Tiger Woods did some crazy shit in the gym. Tiger Woods would be pulling with 300 pounds on the deadlift, would be squatting a shitload of weight, did do some special forces training, did do things that tore up his body. Tiger Woods tore up his body through training, not golf. Through training, not golf. You hear me? Look at Federer and look at Tiger. Okay? So we got that. All right, so what is the problem with all of this? To summarize it, we're killing people in gyms because we're violating the genetic bandwidth with stupid competitions within the gym, competing 300 against 325, 350 against 400. If he deadlifts 300, then I got to deadlift 400. And that's not the way to make athletes better. We're killing athletes. We're giving them artificial hips and artificial knees by the bucket loads. Never have orthopedic surgeons been more happy than now. Why? Because strength and conditioning coaches are going apeshit, killing people in gyms. So stop that. We have to design and support quality training. And even the tactical and technical coaches are full of it because they're doing two-a-days. They're sparring 8 rounds a day. They're doing, recovery 50-mile bike rides. Recovery is a whirlpool. It's a nap. Okay, it's a good meal. It's a massage. Recovery ain't a jog for 5 miles, a 50-mile bike ride. Oh, I'm just spinning. That's not recovery. As a matter of fact, surfing the internet is not even recovery. Recovery is quiet, zero input, control your breathing, and get your hormones back in line. Get your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems in check and balance. That's what recovery is. It's not talking on the phone. It's not watching TV, going to theater, and certainly surfing the internet. All right? So there's more to come, but I wanted to do this one on the genetic bandwidth and overtraining. How much strength is enough for you guys so we can set the pattern and do what IHP does, which is to move the industry in a better direction.